Because of that, when I finally did have something to sell, people were actually throwing their credit cards at me. Give this video a like if selling makes you feel totally uncomfortable. And I can definitely relate because I used to be horrible, awful at selling. And I recently posted something on my Instagram story that definitely struck a chord. And it was my biggest mindset shift in selling and how we've sold more than $3 million worth of products and services in the last year in my business. Check this out. You're dealing with and projecting onto me because I don't even feel like I'm selling anything. I feel like I'm doing you a favor by saying, here's my program, enroll in it, because I know it works. That's what makes it so easy for me to talk about. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my 5 laws of selling, and I have come a long way. And truly, I believe now I could sell anything to anyone at any time, anywhere. And I'm not trying to be cocky. This has come from a lot of experience, a lot of learning, a lot of failure, and really dialing in these laws. So no matter what it is that you're doing, because realistically, selling is a part of life. Whether you are trying to sell a home, sell your car, sell yourself to someone that you want to impress, you're constantly in the art of selling. So we're gonna dive into my 5 laws in just a second, but just to give you a little glimpse into how bad I was, well, I remember one time I was doing a sales call, and this was just a year and a half ago probably, and my boyfriend was listening in our apartment, and I got off the call and I felt completely defeated. I felt like I sucked at doing this and I just never wanted to sell anymore. And he said to me, he was like, you didn't even sound like yourself. So that was my biggest sort of shift where I was like, oh God, the reason this isn't working is because I'm trying to be somebody that I'm not. I'm trying to follow someone else's script, but I know that I believe in my products and my services so much that I sell them without feeling like I'm selling. So you want to keep in mind that the key to selling really is to feel like you're not selling anything at all. So let's dive into these laws because it's going to help drive this home and help you sell anything to anyone at any time. Let's do it. Hit subscribe for more videos on how to be your own boss and build your own life. And I promise you that everything I'm about to tell you is not going to feel yucky, sleazy, gross, or inauthentic. It's going to be soulful selling that will feel like you're not selling at all. The first law is the law of generosity, and this goes back to what I was talking about on my Instagram story. The moment that I stopped thinking about selling as pushing something on people and I started thinking about it as an act of service, the game changed. Because I am proud of what I sell, because I know what I sell provides a solution, it gets people results, it answers questions, and more importantly, people are actually seeing success when they enroll in our programs and do the work. So I feel now like I'm doing people a favor when I say, hey, I have these programs and services, sign up for them. And that is probably the best shift you're ever going to have when it comes to selling. The other part of this is that I gave so much more than I ever took when I started talking about my business. And when I started talking about YouTube and social media and all these things, I was doing free content for like a year before I ever had anything to sell. And that creates reciprocity, meaning that if you give, you get. That's just the law of the universe. And because of that, when I finally did have something to sell, people were actually throwing their credit cards at me. I'm gonna post some screenshots right now of one of my first product launches and how people reacted, and they were basically throwing money at me. And it was a super successful launch. And that's because I believe you have to be generous if you want to get anything in return. So oftentimes when people think about selling, they think they have to get, take. That's not how you want to do it. And that's when you go to, like a car dealership and you feel gross afterwards. It's because all they want is your money. They're thinking about what they can get out of it. Not everybody, it's generalization. But the best people and the people that I want to go work with and buy from are the people who give. And the other thing is you're only gonna feel icky about selling if you're selling something shitty or something you don't believe in. So when you feel icky and yucky and weird about it, you're not fully bought into the process, or you feel like you're being grabby and takey and you don't or you don't really buy into what you're selling, and so why would anybody else buy into what you're selling, and that's why it's not working. So always come from a place of, I am actually doing you a favor by telling you about my services because I know that they can help you. You have to think about doctors and lawyers. They can charge so much money because they're providing life-saving solutions, or they're providing butt-saving solutions depending on the situation, and they're solving a big problem. And therefore, people will pay for that service. So you have to think about what's the problem that you're solving and how are you helping people. That's where you want to come from when it comes to selling whatever it is that you have to sell. The second law is the law of emotion. You gotta really master this one and understand that we don't buy things, we buy feelings. So how do people want to feel? They want to feel sexy, they want to feel free, they want to feel important, they want to feel validated, they want to feel worthy, they want to feel seen. Those are the reasons that people buy things. They want to have ease in their life, they want to feel ease, they want to feel peace. All of those triggers are the real reasons motivating buying decisions. Let's look at cars for a second. There are 1,000,001 cars in the market. Why is it that Teslas, Aston Martins, Mercedes are so desirable? Because they make you feel fancy. When you say, I drive a Mercedes versus I drive a Honda. Nothing against Honda. I had a Honda for a very long time. But it makes you feel something different, and that's what people are really buying into. So if you can make people feel something from your products and services, prime example, with our programs, people want to feel seen. They want to feel heard. And that's what they're going to get when they invest in our products and services. So I want to tell them, yeah, that's what you're going to get here. And we're going to put that in the copy. We're going to talk about it in the sales calls because it's true. So you have to align the feeling people want to get from you and the product and service you're delivering and the result you're actually giving to them. Because if you can match those two things up, it will work like nobody's business. And I'm actually really curious right now in the comments below, what's something that you really want to buy and would be easy to sell to you if money was not an issue? It would be really easy to sell to you. And what's it gonna make you feel like? What's the feeling you're trying to get from buying it? Is it a car? Is it a house? What is it? Let me know in the comments below. Law number 3 is the law of FOMO, the fear of missing out. There is a certain gang mentality to sales. And when you can really leverage that, it really creates a snowball effect and momentum for your business or for whatever it is that you're selling. So very similar, let's just use a personal example. If you go to a house party, let's just say, and you meet one person and you are on fire and you're being yourself and you feel good, and that person is really enjoying having a conversation with you, it becomes magnetic. And then all these other people are like, I want to talk to that person too. Or the person you're talking to goes and tells 5 friends and is like, you need to go talk to that person. They're amazing. So same thing happens when you have a good product or service to sell. And we've seen this firsthand. You can actually check out this Instagram story that one of our customers posted and basically was using gang mentality without even knowing it and creating that FOMO effect by doing this.
For $200 off. If you go to her Instagram, I will tag her here. She will tell you how you can get that code. It's on her free webinar, which by the way is totally full of value and it's friggin' free. There's no doubt in my mind if you've been thinking about.
And then we kind of take things a step further, and this is a huge part of selling as well. People want to know that things work and they also want to be part of a club. And so we have what we call the Wall of Fame, and it's all of our clients or a collection of our clients. It's not even all of the success stories we have, but a collection of our clients who have submitted video testimonials. We put it up on our website, and we have something called the 100K Club. That's the row at the very top where it's all of our clients and members who have hit 100,000 subscribers, and a lot of them $100,000 in revenue using our system and methodology, and they go in this special 100K Club on our Wall of Fame. And the amount of people who have said, I'm gonna be in that club. And that's motivated their buying decision because they have this fear of missing out. They wanna be part of it. That is a huge factor. So when you have a good product or service, you wanna use that fear of missing out by saying, you're missing out on a really great opportunity here to see the results you're trying to get or to get the thing you've always wanted in your life that's gonna make you feel some type of way. You gotta leverage FOMO. FOMO is a huge factor to selling, especially in social selling with social media. You can use this in so many ways because people, real human beings, will be your greatest ambassadors. And on that note, brings me to the fourth law, which is the law of relationships. And you cannot overlook this in today's day and age. If you're still trying to sell by cold calling people and by just pushing your message, you're going to fail fast. You have to understand that selling is about relationships. That's really all it is. And knowing the needs of your audience is vitally important because they will actually tell you what they want to buy from you. Case in point, when I started making YouTube videos and putting out free content, I was talking about a bunch of different social platforms. I was talking about a bunch of different things. And I noticed that whenever I posted a video talking about YouTube specifically, people were like, oh my gosh, I want more of this, more of this, more of this. And that led me to creating YouTube for Bosses, which is our first paid program, our self-study program, and has evolved into our consulting program as well. So I listened to my audience and I talked to my audience and I am tuned into my audience, whether it's through DMs or whatever it may be. And this is the other thing too. Don't underestimate the value of actually talking one-to-one to people. So I'm gonna show you some screenshots. And this one in particular, this guy had been looky-looing our programs for a while. And he sent me a message and basically asked me, well, what's gonna help me get this done? And all I wrote back was do the work, simple as that. And I had been having conversations with him here and there for the past year, 2 years. And all it took was me saying that. And he said, I've enrolled. And then he said, thanks for being so approachable. Because most people won't answer. Most people won't have those conversations. Most people don't take the time to treat people like people. But I know that building relationships has been one of the biggest reasons I've been able to build a business. I don't take it for granted. I believe that talking to people is really the only way to figure out how you can best serve them. And I'm constantly listening. So build those relationships, ask your audience, do polls, whether it's on Instagram or wherever else, ask what they want. And even if you have nothing to sell right now, ask people what they want to hear from you because that's going to help you create free content, which then will help you get to some sort of product or service to sell that you know is proven and that you know you have an audience for. And that's the beautiful thing about social media and the era that we're living in today. So treat them like human beings. Respect them, see them, value them, because 99% of your competition is not doing that. The fifth law is the law of belief. This is one of my favorite quotes, and you gotta live by it if you're really trying to build a business and if you're trying to make more money and build your wealth. There is real magic in enthusiasm. It spells the difference between mediocrity and accomplishment. And what I mean by this is if you don't buy your own stuff, no one else is going to. If you don't believe wholeheartedly in what you're selling, no one else is going to. So do whatever it is that you need to do to fully believe in what you're selling by making it the best in class, the best in the industry, and the most value packed. And then you will buy into it. And that will create the shift to be able to sell so easily. And again, that's why it's very easy for me now, who has come a long way from being very awkward and uncomfortable with selling because I did look at it as being sleazy and I felt like gross about it and it just didn't feel natural to me. And truthfully too, and ladies particularly, tell me if you can relate to this in the comments, but I think as a woman, you don't want to come across as pushy a lot of the times. And it's, still even in this day and age looked down upon if you're too aggressive. And so when I started selling, it felt very sort of masculine. It felt very out of my comfort zone. And it felt like I was being pushy. And I'm generally used to pulling people in by creating value and being generous and all these kinds of things. And that's how I've created my community. So when I had to start pushing and actually selling things, it felt like pushing, but it wasn't. And once I realized my stuff works, I'm proud of it. And I got my enthusiasm up and I realized I believe so wholeheartedly in what I do and this is not selling, this is service. That's when everything changed. So until you believe it, no one else is gonna believe it. And believe me, no one else is gonna buy it. If you like this video, check out this video on how to find your niche and figure out what to sell online, and this video on how my client sold his YouTube channel for millions. Subscribe to the link in the description for personal emails from me every single Friday, and so make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for new videos every Tuesday and Friday. I'll see you in the next video.